Спасибо, что вы нас принимаете, что вы меня принимаете.
Thank you for accepting.
Вы уже слышите меня? Дайте мне знать, пастор Юра, дайте мне знать, если вы уже слышите.
Thank you for putting us on air.
Пастор Юра, вы меня слышите или нет?
Looks like the people that are preaching today from another city cannot hear Dr. Sunday Adelaja in their hall, but on the live stream they can be heard.
Okay, я вижу, что вы уже меня слышите, да?
Can everybody hear me? All right. Our sermon is going to continue today. But only if everyone can hear me. I need to be sure that everyone can hear me. So I'm waiting for the connection to be secured so that we can all hear each other clearly. Meanwhile, share the sermon. Today we're going to talk about how we can bring people to God again and how we can become leaders in our own spheres. We'd love to hear where you are watching from or listening from. Either way is fine. And remember that you can watch this live stream both on YouTube and on Facebook.
Okay, здравствуйте, дорогая церковь. Мы думали, что я думаю.
All right, hello dear church. I thought that I was going to have a partner from another city on Zoom today, but looks like the sound waves cannot cross this distance. So I'm glad that you guys at least can hear me, because this topic today is very important. What is our topic? How to be self-fulfilled and to reach people for God. But today, under this underarching theme, I want to focus on a very important point. One thing that you have to do in order to become self-fulfilled. It's not small, but it's one thing you have to do. You need to fulfill people's needs. If you fulfill people's needs, they will come running after you. If you find what people need, and if you grant those needs, people will follow you. But I want to talk to you specifically about what kind of needs you need to work on. Because people have needs everywhere. Africa, Europe, America, people have basic needs. Every single person has basic needs. And I'm talking about these basic needs in this message today. We're going to talk about 7 today. 7 basic needs that if you can fulfill and grant them for people, you will have people following you and you will become a leader for these people. And you could become successful leaders, be it in business, be it in church. It doesn't matter where you find glory. These are 7 psychological needs of every person. 7 psychological needs of a person. Every single person has them. So I want to share them with you. The first basic need a person has is acknowledgments. Every single person wants to be acknowledged. Every person wants to be noticed. Every person wants to be noted. People want to be noticed, especially women. You notice that many women put a lot more effort into their appearance than their male counterparts. They want acknowledgement. But this is not something only women desire. All of humanity desires to be acknowledged, to have someone at least pay attention to them and notice them. Even if they act indifferent and act as if they don't need any acknowledgement or attention from anyone. The truth is, every single person wants acknowledgement. Every single person wants to be noted. Every people want their existence to be acknowledged. So, if you work with people, or you're planning to work with people, then teach those people to notice those around them. How do you notice people? Say hello to them, earnestly. Call their names. Pay attention to them. I often see in my church that even the leaders are going past the members of the church and aren't talking to the people who are following them. Because during the time of the Soviet Union, and in the former Soviet Union, usually the boss doesn't say anything to the underlings. And the underlings cannot greet the boss first. The boss is treated like a divine figure, but it's the opposite in the kingdom of God. We are the servants of people. Even if a person doesn't say hello to us or doesn't pay attention to us, we, as leaders, should go forward. We should be brave and say hello. We should greet people. We should not wait for people to greet us first. Many leaders do wait for someone to approach them first before they reciprocate. No, you take the initiative. You stretch out your hands. And even if you're not a leader, take the initiative. Even if you're just a parishioner. Pay attention to everyone. Those who have a higher status than you, a lower than one, people who are ordinary, people that are extraordinary. That's the first thing you'll notice if you travel to the West. Everybody notices each other. Everybody at least goes out of their way to say hello. Because this is one of the things we require psychologically. Every person has the basic need to be acknowledged and noticed. For people to pay attention to them. It's a psychological need every single person has. What's the second psychological need a person has? And how will it help you when you're working? When you're working spiritually, when you're working physically, when you're working with people, when you're working in the world, this will help you. Because every single person needs communication. Every single person needs communication and fellowship. Nobody loves loneliness. Everybody wants to have at least some friends. Everybody wants to have a circle of friends. Everybody wants to have colleagues they can rely on. Everybody needs to have a fellowship. Humans are social creatures. You need to have a fellowship as well. Acknowledgement is one thing, but everybody wants to have a community. So, if you want to be successful in your work with people, invite them out from time to time. Say you'll treat them to coffee. Say you want to grab a tea. Say that you have a restaurant you want to try out, and do they want to come with you? Have some time to talk with them, to fellowship with them. People need fellowship, even if they say they don't need it. Every single person needs communication and fellowship and time spent around other people. Why do we form families? Why do we go to church? Why do we go to clubs? Why do we find people groups to hang around? Every single one of us needs fellowship. Every single one of us needs a community. So if you're planning to be a leader, become someone who allows people to find fellowship. Fulfill people's needs. And you'll find out that people start following you. So to notice a person and to acknowledge them is one thing. But to communicate with them and to give them a place where they can fellowship is something else. Invite them into your circles of friends. Give them a chance to talk and spend time with people. What's the third basic needs every person has? Every single person needs understanding. Where there is no understanding, there are conflicts and fights. Then things don't work out. Often we ourselves don't understand those around us. And worst, we don't try hard enough to show understanding towards others. But even if we don't put in the effort, every single one of us wants to be understood. Can you deny that you want people to treat you with understanding, even if you don't do it yourself? Often we judge other people, but we don't want to be judged ourselves. Often we gossip about people, but we don't want to be judged ourselves. We don't want to be gossiped about. We want to be treated with understanding. We want the benefit of the doubt. What we want for ourselves, let's do it for other people. Because every single person wants the same thing as us. That's basically a law of life. The things that you desire, there's a whole bunch of people in the world who desire the same thing. That's why the Bible says to love your neighbor as yourself. The things that you like, the things that you prefer, the things that you need, other people need it as well. Especially understanding. Why do people leave their family? Why do they fall apart? Because there's no understanding. If you ask young women, ladies, and women, ask them why they cut people out of their lives, why they left their family, or why they moved from one workplace to another, or from one university to another, or got married early or later. A lot of it comes down to understanding or lack of it. Every single one of us need understanding. So, if you treat others with understanding, you will become the coolest person on the block. What's another thing each of us need? A basic need of every single person. Every single one of us need kindness. We need kindness. For people to be kind to us. People actually don't care about what knowledge you have. People only want to know how kind you are. People want to know that you care about them, people want to feel that someone cares about them. People don't want to feel that no one cares about them. Everybody wants to be cared for. It would be great if everybody cared for each other the same way they would love to be cared for. But unfortunately, not everyone is going to be caring. But every single person needs kindness, needs compassion, and needs care. So if you have some to give, do not spare it. Do not be shy. Do not hold it back. You don't know how badly a person might need some care right now. People need people to be kinder to them. People need people to go out of their way to be intentionally kind. Every single person needs kindness. What's another thing that's a basic need that every human has? Every person wants to be needed. I often hear this, especially from women. Who needs me? No one needs me. There's a lot of women who got married because they wanted to feel that somebody needs them. There's a lot of people who cry and they are longing to form a family just because they want to feel that they're needed for someone. But for some reason in our society, Everybody thinks that only in a family you can feel needed. No, you can feel needed through serving other people, through helping other people. You can fulfill this need not only through forming a family, but also through serving others. So, if you want to feel that somebody needs you, you don't have to give birth in order to do that. You don't have to get married. You have to offer up yourself, offer up your time, offer up the things you know. But all of us want to be needed. Once you offer up your skills, once you serve other people, you'll find that a lot of people need you, that you are useful, 100% useful. But why are people often saying that they feel empty, or they have no purpose? Many of them feel like nobody needs them. And that's why in our church, we are constantly encouraging people to serve, to join a ministry. That's why we form so many ministries in our church, because everybody needs to know that they are needed. The next basic need every human has. What is another thing we all need? Every single one of us desire and need honor and respect. All of us want someone to respect us and to honor us. We don't want to be treated as a tool. We don't want to be treated as furniture or as someone who doesn't mean anything. All of us need and all of us want for someone to respect us and for someone to honor us. We teach about our church. We teach extensively about honor and respect in our church. You can look through our YouTube channels and SoundCloud in order to find all of these preachings, because these are very important points. Here's another psychological desire and need every single person has. Every single one of us needs love. That's true. Every single person on earth knows that every single person wants love. Love doesn't necessarily mean romantic love, hugging, kissing, stuff like that. Everything that I have said now, paying attention to someone, acknowledging them, understanding them, all of that falls under the understanding of love. Love is a basic need every single person has, because we are made in the image of God, and God is love. We are made of love, and we need to be filled with love. And not only in family love, but in love of all kinds. We want to be loved, we want to love others, and that is the basicest of all needs. So what are all the basic needs of humanity? If you want to be a successful leader, be a specialist, be an expert, be an ace in creating the conditions for these 7 needs to be fulfilled. Be a specialist in granting these 7 needs of people. And you will be surprised at how many people start trickling in to follow you. People will be seeking an opportunity to be near you, because the psychological needs of all people are contained in this list. So what are these needs? Every single person wants to be acknowledged. They want to be noticed. They want people to pay attention to them and spend time with them. Every single person needs that. The second thing every person needs, all of us need fellowship. All of us need communication. None of us feel good in loneliness. None of us blossom in loneliness. Every single one of us need people to be by us and around us. Okay. All of us also need to be understood. Often we don't treat others with understanding, but we do want to be understood. Often we judge people, but when we make mistakes, we want to be treated with understanding. All of us, those around us and us ourselves, need understanding and an understanding treatment. Next, all of us need kindness. All of us need people to treat us with kindness and compassion and goodwill. People don't really care how beautiful you are, how much you know, what traits you have. People don't care what accomplishments and medals you have. You know what's interesting the moment they see another person? Are they interesting to you? Do you care? Are they themselves able to become important to you? Are you indifferent towards them? If they think that you don't care about them, then no matter what you've achieved, they will be closed off to you because they know that you aren't kind to them or that your kindness isn't coming from the heart. People will rather get frustrated at your achievements and good points because you don't have any care for them. The next thing people need is to be useful. People want to know who needs them. That's why we have ministries for people to feel fulfilled, for people to develop themselves, and to show society what they can do for it and bring positive changes to it. All of us want to be useful. Next, all of us want to be respected. All of us want to be honored. And last of all of us want to be loved. All of us need love. Those are the conclusions of the seven basic psychological needs of each person. I hope that this will help you to lead people to God and to be the best version of yourself and more effective leaders, after which people will follow. May God bless you. Thank you everyone for tuning in. This live stream is now over.